Welcome to Multifamily Deal Lab, where your host, Dave Lindahl, dissects recent multifamily deals done by his guests. Dave will extract what went right, what went wrong, and a number of key takeaways so your next deal may be more profitable.
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Multifamily Deal Lab, where we talk about how deals get done. So with me, I have Inessa and Roman. And why don't you guys tell everybody who you are and where you're from?
All right. I'll start. My name is Roman Kirzhner, living in New York and doing business everywhere but in New York.
You're living in New York?
Yeah, I live in Bayside, Queens.
Are you a Yankees fan?
Kind of, sort of.
Oh, listen, that was one of the questions on the questionnaire. You must not have answered it because if you're a Yankees fan, then you're not allowed on the podcast.
I was cautious. I'm watching Olympics right now. That's what I do.
Okay, good. Okay. So you're in New York.
Yeah.
And
my background is engineering, mechanical engineer and computer programming. When I was working as a mechanical engineer for 10 years for a Japanese company, they moved my business to Mexico. When I started working for computer programming in Bank of America, they moved my business to India. So we decided to grab some bricks and mortars, and real estate, obviously, that was the choice. And it was back in 2005. And I'm doing real estate since 2005 full time.
Where did you grow up?
My business basically in Pennsylvania.
No. Where did you grow up?
In Ukraine.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's interesting. You have family there now?
No, everyone here. Everyone is here.
Everybody get out? Okay,
Yep.
Good. Yeah, I hope that gets all resolved peacefully.
Hopefully, we'll see. But there, next to me, it's my, let's say, according to media, my enemy, Inessa. She was from Russia.
Okay. And how do you guys, and Inessa, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and what your story is.
Sure. I'm from New York as well. I live in Staten Island. Been here for the past 31 years. I have background in finance. As you can see, my background, I still in office in one of biggest U.S. bank on a compliance space, doing real estate for the past 4.5, 5 years with Roman. So actually I pull him into multifamily. And one of the presentation when I see one of your presenter in Queens, I just went the first sign up, and that's it. So
sense to you.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and the story with real estate, our mentor started quite a few years ago already.
2018, yes.
Okay, I want to go into how you guys did your first deal together. But before we do, Inessa, I need you to do something. I need you to do something for me.
Okay.
Can you say, kill the squirrel?
Okay, kill the squirrel.
All right, for anybody that knows that reference, that's from Bullwinkle and Rocky. And there was always a Russian woman trying to kill the squirrel.
You have to do that in better way. Kill the squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel.
Right.
You know what? I can, as a Russian woman, I propagated it. I love kickboxing. That's my thing, to relax and for stress relief. So I will kill it with my bare hand as a Russian woman.
And make a soup out of it, right?
I will challenge it, but for my guest, which part of my guest, part of my enemy. So maybe, yes.
All right, excellent. All right, so let's talk about. So you guys get together as a partnership. Tell me about the first deal that you did together. How you get into it?
We did a couple flips because I was all the way in single family business in Philadelphia, and that's why I brought Inessa. We purchased property from auctions and off market because I had strong relationship with local brokers. And
hold on. What about your first multifamily deal following the system?
Multifamily deal was in York, I would say, in York, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. How many units?
It's not big. It's 2 commercial units and 4 residential units, but it's located in central business district, so it's got kind of class BB plus property, and it was off market and it was presented to us basically by the broker that we had relationship based on our single family experience. And
Okay, good. I just wanted, you said it was 4 residential and was it 2 commercial?
2 commercial, right?
Okay, I just wanted to say something. You said it wasn't a big deal, but you know what? It doesn't matter what the size is of that first deal. We used to teach people at the beginning to do big deals, but then we realized that people would have, subconsciously, they wouldn't be ready for it. So what we recognized was that people weren't subconsciously ready for those big deals. So then we started teaching, get into your first deal. It doesn't matter what size it is, do whatever you're comfortable. So like a 6-unit to you might be huge to somebody, that's just starting out, and I remember my first deal was a 3-unit deal, and it took me 9 months to do it because I was so afraid to do it. And then for 3 years, I would only do 3 to 6-unit deals because I was so afraid to go bigger. So, it's all relative on where you're starting, but you got into that first deal. How did you get it? Inessa, you want to talk about how you got that first deal?
Actually, it was off-market deal. He cheated on their partners. Actually, that's how we got deal from 405 down to 380, so down by 5% in addition on the price. And he eventually, we find out he cheated on us as well, because he claims that one of the unit was occupied with we've been there in that unit. It was so messy, like hoarder walls there look like. So he gave us payment for that for the first month. He did everything to cover it, but we find out months later that nobody living there. So it took us what's from 4-5 months legally to remove belongings and do the rehab, but it's ended up that we raise our rent for 50% of original price. So it ended up great, but that was our experience with the seller.
Oh wow!
Basically, we did our due diligence. Everything was good on the paper. We questioned him a couple of times about that particular unit. He said that person lives there. He never saw her, but he always comes to the door, gets their cash, and that's it. So, but it was a lie all over. So there was no unit was vacant, but it took us a little bit time to clean it up and renovate it and rent it out. But right now, the property is fully occupied. We were able to increase from the day of purchase till now, we increased the rent by 15%.
That's nice.
Which is give us bump of $700 to $25 per month in extra income and extra cash flow.
All right. So you said you had a great relationship with a broker. So how did you establish that relationship with the broker?
That was day by day, every week. I was calling with the broker. We bought a couple properties with Inessa and other people. I have different LLCs. So we right now we have presence in New York. It's about 20-25 units altogether. We have in that city. We like the city because it's has low unemployment rate. It has huge Harley Davidson plant there. It's a lot of things to do in business, in central business district, that's where the property located. So we love that properties, and we love working with broker. It's like we're teaching him what we know from our mentor. He's giving us the products.
Interesting. That's excellent. So how much does this property cost?
The property was put on market. Asking price was $435. Mm-hmm. Then we brought it down to 405. Then we ordered appraisal. Appraisal came $360.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So that was interesting twist to that process. So because the seller was a crook, and we knew about it. So he said, we will sell for $360 according to the seller to appraisal price, but I want $20,000 on the top of it.
And what'd you do?
We gave him $20,000, but we reduced the price to $380 altogether. So we bought it physically on the paper. We bought it for $360.
Okay, I get it. Did you get fun? How did you get like the down payment and the closing costs for that? Did you have it yourself?
Because it's not a big property. I mean, in terms of multifamilies, we were able to get it through one of the banks. It's Nation Bank, M&T Bank. Yeah, they're good for that type
What about your deposit? Where did that come from?
We put our own money.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's formality because we have LLC, which is joint venture. It's 50-50.
Yeah.
And that's basically done with RE mentor students as well. Thanks to Jeannie, she gave us contacts and we met the person and we get together a couple times and finally she put money down and that was good. And
that's the great part of the RE mentor community because we're in our 20th year, which we're celebrating our 20th anniversary this year. Yep. And we have got clients all around the United States in every major city, secondary city, tertiary markets. And Jeannie she's like a steel trap. She knows everybody, remembers everybody. And whenever there's a connection that needs to be made, she makes that connection. If somebody's looking to do a deal in a particular area and they bring a good deal and they're new, I mean, it's got to be a good deal. She finds a partner for them. If somebody's looking for funding on a deal that's an RE mentor student, she'll find somebody that's looking to do that types of deals that wants to be a partner or a sponsor on that particular deal. So the community is awesome here. Would you agree?
Absolutely. We're using all resources and all tools that you guys provided. We have Bob's Bowman software. We have RE indicators. We're using mentorship. We went to Kirzhner. We're doing everything.
Yeah, it's awesome. So you go from that property. Let's go to your next property. What property, was there a particular property that you wanted to talk about? I wanted to get into your very first deal because a lot of people, are struggling to get into their first deal or they're in the process of getting into their first deal. So those first deal stories are always good. But other than that, was there another particular deal you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, another one was in Maine,
okay.
in Lewistown in Maine. It was eight units deal. All residentials.
How did you end up in Lewiston, Maine?
It was thanks to Bob Bowman because I'm constantly in contact with him, doing underwriting and discussing. And at one day he said, "Roman, I have one guy who is interested in partnership, but the deal is too small for me. Maybe you can pick it up because you're a good underwriter." So we met with that guy. He had offered he has already started discussion on that property, 8 units, and he was looking for the partners. So he is local, which is great. He is a contractor. He is contractor, which is also great, and he is RE mentor student, which makes things much easier.
Wow, I mean, if we've got students up in Lewiston, Maine, we've got students everywhere because Lewiston's way north. North country up there. Yeah. Did you actually go to the property yourself?
We went at least twice. The first time we went to see the property, second time when we were closing.
All right, I got a question for you. Was that property full of maniacs?
It was a strange people around, of course. I would be polite. It was a strange people around that area.
Really? After New York?
Yeah.
Saying that no.
Yeah, that's
nobody weird after New York.
For us, it's normal. For us, it's normal.
Okay.
It was vacancy out of 8, 3 units were vacant. The landlord, basically, he was living in the property, and he doesn't know how to deal with that at all. So he is a young guy who probably bought it accidentally, and he was trying to get rid of it. After we acquired that property, he was living there for a couple months, and then he stopped paying it. So we evicted the owner of the property.
Okay, the previous owner, yeah. Hey, I got a question for you because Lewiston, Maine is really, really far north, and in these smaller towns, it's difficult to find good management companies. How are you managing that asset?
Our partner is a manager. Also, because he has a few properties, he has a little bit of experience. I have obviously 17 years of experience because I managed about 40 properties in Philadelphia.
Oh, nice.
But we're okay. He is doing construction. We found the common ground how we can communicate, which is not always the easiest things to do with people that you don't know and you get used to, and so we're doing all right so far. We start collecting full rent. It's fully stabilized right now. It brings us the small. We're calculating break-even point. So break-even point for us was about 37-38% of occupancy, which is great.
The break-even is 37-38%?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the lowest I think I've ever heard.
Right now we're cashing out.
Hold on a second. So what was the purchase price on that property?
250.
250. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's that netting you guys a month?
It was about right now. It's about 5,000 for two of us.
On your side, and is that for all the partners, or is that just
for
partners?
Full partners, but it's out of the gross rent. It's 7,266, and monthly expenses, including debt services, it's a little bit. It's around 2,000. So we have 5,000 plus net operational income.
Did you put money into the deal yourself?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
What's your return? What's the return on your money right now?
To 12-13%.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting 12 to 13% cash on cash a year?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
And the first deal that we mentioned, we didn't put money because we use a 50-50 split, but we general partners and investors on the other side. So we didn't put the deal on that one that we mentioned before, nothing at all. So that was structure.
Were there any big surprises on that 8-unit deal? Usually every deal has some sort of surprise in it.
A little bit structural damage, a little bit structural that we were able to fix. It's like mostly exterior, supporting bins. We already replaced one boiler and did full renovation on 3 units. That's what it was.
I would say it wasn't a surprise. It was pleasant surprise because our partner and manager, he finished renovation of those 3 units and exterior in less than a month. So we bought it in September 3rd. He started work pretty much September 5th. And by middle of October, we was full and running. So that was pleasant surprise.
What was not pleasant surprise is the current status of cost of labor and materials.
Mm-hmm.
That was or wasn't a surprise?
It was.
Well, are you talking about the labor? I'll talk to you about, but the supplies. I mean, because of COVID, the cost of supplies is just crazy. I get a shed for the back of my house to store stuff in for my kids to play in, and I remember it was a red shed, and I thought, well, my house is cedar shingle, so maybe I'll switch it over to cedar shingle. And so I went in to switch it over, and they said, well, that's going to be $5,000 to change it. I was like, this shed only cost me $7,000. I said, yeah, but have you seen the price of cedar shingles lately? I was like, oh, crap.
As well. We allocated about $6,000 per unit for renovation. It was more than 10.
Crazy. What about labor? I'm surprised that the labor cost was higher, especially.
The labor they were charging about $25 an hour, which I didn't.
You didn't like that?
No, because I like to work on that type of project, not based on the hourly rate, but based on the project itself, how much that costs.
Oh yeah, I'm with you there. So that's the difference between project cost and time and material. And time and material, they always get you. I hate doing time and material.
Yeah, that's not a good. So we're already changing that because our partner was involved in construction itself.
Yeah. All right.
So,
okay, good.
We're exponentially working on next one is 22 units in Chicago.
Let's talk to the people that are just starting out and are looking to get into deals. And what lessons have you learned along the way of doing these 2 deals? I know you've done other deals, but what type of advice would you give people that are just starting out? They're looking to get into their first deal, and they may be looking to do their first raise.
That's really good because first of all, you have to have confidence that you can do that. That's number one. Confidence comes with experience, of course, and experience comes from education in your relationship with the people. I'm not gonna do marketing for our mentor, but it's really one of the best school that I went because I'm not easy person to be convinced buying product from inspirational speeches, but I'm fully submerged in RE Mentor, and I'm glad that we're part of your family. That's not a compliment. That's given, because what it's given us confidence of doing business and network that we can find like-minded people much easier, and they know what we're talking about. They not get scared about the 30-70 split, and then it's normal. So the environment itself is great. So I would recommend anyone, if you, as you can hear, I have gray hair, and I thought that I have a lot of experience in real estate, but coming to RE Mentor was a turning point for us. That's for sure. And we just, like a sponge, we're getting everything from you guys. And we're meeting all people. Not only that, but it will change your mental status. Dealing with other people and from this community, it will change your thinking about yourself and where you are in this world. That's for sure.
Gives you confidence and helps you overcome limiting beliefs.
Great people, great materials.
Since you plugged us, for those listening that aren't familiar with us, we are at rementor.com. We've got home study systems. We've got 3-day boot camps all around the country. One's usually happening some weekend somewhere. And we have a coaching program. So feel free to go to rementor.com or call us, 781-878-7114. There's always someone here that picks up the phone. If by chance you do go into voicemail, someone will call you right back. Inessa, thank you. Inessa, give advice to people that are just starting out there. Aside from RE Mentor, what are the confidence builders? What are the things that they absolutely need to do in order to progress themselves to get into that first deal?
Actually, what I would, from the way I learn and from the way I start and doing anything in my life, it just get comfortable to be uncomfortable. Ask question and do something. Not procrastinate, because when we have all those material in hand and we start studying and that knowledge overwhelms us, and we don't know where to start. Okay, start with something and ask question. You have great community, so people are eager to jump in and help, and with open hands. So that's what I would do. And it's a lot of challenges here. It's not get rich overnight. But
it's not a get rich quick. It's a get rich right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I like to say. So yes, absolutely. I think you nailed it on the head. Getting uncomfortable, being uncomfortable. And that's that's one of my favorite sayings. I've been saying that for a long time while I'm teaching. And then the other thing is you got to do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do. You know what I mean? That's the process of being successful. Good. So before we go into the live Q&A, I am going to thank you for being on this podcast, and I'm going to remind everybody you can see us on I think Apple, Spotify, and a lot of different places. But thanks again for being on this podcast, and will be another podcast coming out next week. Thank you very much.
This has been another edition of Multifamily Deal Lab. If watching on YouTube, please be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, so you don't miss the next session, and review the contact links on this page.